Oh my goodness. Okay, obviously just getting the obvious out of the room. Captain Obvious here. Obviously in a different room, different microphone. You guys don't care about that. Whatever. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things I have to do every once in a while. Please forgive me of my sins. Well, let's just watch this video over and over and over and over and over and over again, because it will help me. This is therapy right here, sort of, kind of. Let's listen to Devin Booker. Remember, Devin Booker said this before the season started.
I mean, saying it respectfully, I don't know how teams are going to guard us. I mean, saying it
I'm just going
respectfully,
to let
I
this
don't
play over
know
and
how
over
teams
and
are going to
over
guard
again
us.
for a minute while I pour my beer. That's what's going to happen here, guys.
Saying it respectfully, I don't know how teams are going to guard us. I mean, saying it respectfully, I don't know how teams are going to guard us. I mean, saying it respectfully, I don't know how teams are going to guard us. I mean, saying it respectfully, I don't know how teams are going to guard us. I mean, saying it respectfully, I don't know how teams are going to guard us.
Yeah, so I did a terrible pour of my beer, whatever. Oh God, I just, like, why am I even live right now? Like, for real, why am I even live? Like, what is the point? It's funny because I was talking to my brother. Shout out to my brother Chris if you're watching. First off, I got to fix this camera. There we go. Shout out, I was talking to my brother. Shout out to my brother Chris. And I was like, the Suns could still win game 4 and stay alive in this series, but history is not on our side. They even talked about it on the broadcast. 0 to 151. 0 to 151 when teams go down 0-3. Like, should I even bother talking about this game? There's no point. I don't even have the stats pulled up. Because this team saying that the 2023-2024 Phoenix Suns were a miserable failure is an understatement. Saying that the 2023-24 Phoenix Suns were a miserable failure is an understatement. I'll drink to that. Now look, y'all.
I mean,
hold on, y'all. Technical.
saying it
Sorry. What is going on? Okay, sorry about that. Did you guys hear what I just said? I don't know what's going on. Anyways, okay. I'm gonna sound a little delusional here. This is gonna be delusional Suns Geek. I'm gonna bring my chair a little forward so you guys can hear me. Again, so sorry for the terrible setup tonight and different quality and all that. If you're a first-time viewer, this is not normally my setup, nor my microphone quality, nor my video quality. But anyways, I'm going to get a little delusional here. Screw it. Why not? I have just like a little bit of hope left. Here's my delusion. And I have said this so many times on my channel this season. I've said it so many times, and I truly do believe this, that there still is I'm going to say it, a 2-year window. And I know that sounds crazy. Like, I know it sounds crazy to keep the big 3 for 2 more years. I know that sounds crazy, but I really am holding on to that last bit of hope that somehow, some way, that whoever is our GM next year, that whoever is, I guess it's going to be Phoenix Suns owner Matt Ishbia, whoever is making the final say, that they're going to assemble a legit team that can not only do it offensively, but can do it defensively. Whoever is coaching us next year can have that locker room together and communicating and, with chemistry and all that. That's my hope. I hope that Matt Ishbia, our owner, makes the right calls, hires and signs the right people, and we keep the big three. I'm going to be stubborn and delusional and say the big three is not going anywhere this season. Well, I mean, like this upcoming off season, I really do believe that, y'all. But now it's just about assembling the other pieces. And look, I like Yusuf Nurkic. I really do. You guys know me. I love Grayson Allen. I don't think Grayson Allen's going anywhere, especially after signing that big deal. Like Royce O'Neal, he can probably go. Again, I love Nurkic. Please don't block me on Twitter, Nurkic, but Nurkic can go. And that's coming from somebody who is a Nurkic fanboy. I remember, okay, I'm going to sound salty here, you guys. I'm going to sound really salty and bitter here. I remember when we got blown out against the Nuggets last season. And I forget which exact live show it was on, but I remember saying, this is why we need to build our team like the Nuggets, for example. I'm not saying every single team should build their team like the Nuggets, but remember, this was me saying this like a year ago. I said, this is why teams need to build their team like the Nuggets. You have your true superstar, Nikola Jokic. You have a borderline all-star player, Jamal Murray. And then you just have solid, incredible players. We even have a Nuggets fan in here right now. The Nuggets have solid, incredible players who know their role. And guess what, you guys? The Nuggets got, they let two of their best players go from last season, brought in a couple solid rookies, and they're still doing their part. And even young players like Christian Braun Braun, whatever his last name is, for example, know their roles and play like a team with chemistry, familiarity. They love each other. They love playing for each other. They sacrifice for each other. And I will never forget it. This is where I sound bitter and salty, but I will never. Somebody in my comments and in the chat was like arguing with me. No way you should build your team like the Denver Nuggets. I was like, dude, do you not watch basketball? Like, have you not been seeing what the Denver Nuggets been doing? And there's probably like three other teams I could reference. The Boston Celtics, the same thing. Now, I know that they lost to the Miami Heat, whatever. They won 60-something games this season, okay? They went to the NBA Finals last year. Okay. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. And then, Kristaps Porzingis was an all-star, but he's a solid player. And then they just have bench guys. They have Drew Holiday, Peyton Pritchard. I could go on and on. Al Horford. They just have guys who know their roles. And look, I'm not even trying to put on my Mr. GM hat here or whatever. I don't know. I was DMing a couple of my good friends who are real loyal Suns fans. Shout out to RJ and David if you're watching. I literally DM'd them during the fourth quarter and said, well, first off, I said, win or lose Phoenix Suns for life. But I said, I am speechless. I'm a content creator. I'm a Phoenix Suns YouTuber or podcaster, whatever you want to call me. And I do not know what to say. I am speechless. I just legit do not know what to say. And I will drink to that. I don't know. Screw it. Let's pull up the stats. Let's talk about it. But my quote analysis, my what I'm going to say to you guys and read you guys the stats, it doesn't really matter because if you miss the ball game, this is what happened. I feel like we actually had a pretty decent first quarter, kind of a first half in a way, but it all came down to what we've seen in the first two games, which was solid, incredible Minnesota Timberwolves defense. And not just the defense. That's a cliche analysis thing. Just the way that the Timberwolves were rotating, putting their arms up, swatting at balls, contesting shots, making life difficult on Devin Booker. Just little, like the little things, right? Like showing energy and effort on defense, So it wasn't just that. The Suns also did not capitalize on the Wolves' foul trouble. The Wolves were in terrible foul trouble all game long, especially in that first half. And the Suns did not capitalize on it. What did they not capitalize on in game 2? They didn't capitalize on the Wolves' turnovers, for example. But the Wolves sure did. The Wolves capitalized on our turnovers last game. I feel like that's kind of been the story in a way of this series, is that every time the Suns had a chance to like counter them or capitalize, they didn't do it. And it's kind of weird because like in the fourth quarter, the Suns were actually hitting shots. They were actually showing urgency and like, holy crap, we're down 20. Let's do something. But it was just too late. And I will never forget it, Suns fans, at least for this season anyways. At least with this season. I said this not too long ago. I was like, with this Phoenix Suns team in 2023-24, this Phoenix Suns team, it is about how the Suns start. Old teams, like with McHale and Cam and all of them, it was about how they finished. This Phoenix Suns team, it's about how they start. And again, it's not like they had a terrible start to the game, but we were lucky to be down, like 6, 7, 8 at halftime. And then the lead just ballooned and escalated. Like, I've been ranting for 13 minutes almost. And again, a lot of these live shows are just me ranting and talking about whatever before I actually sit down and dive into the game. Good God. Like, I am speechless, you guys. Example of what I'm talking about. I have it in my notes here. Around the 6:04 mark, I believe, of the second quarter, the Wolves had 5 straight possessions where they had 7 possessions where they had 5 turnovers. I believe that was around the 6:04 mark of like the second quarter. Then the Wolves go on a 7-0 run to close out the half. And another story of this series, how the Suns just failed to capitalize on second chance opportunities. The 50-50 balls like Frank Vogel was talking about at halftime. We couldn't capitalize on the 50-50 balls. Now, I will say this. We're going to talk about the three-point shooting later. There were a lot of good looks in this game. A lot of like bunnies, as I call them. But we missed a lot of those bunnies. We missed a lot of them. And maybe the game swings a little bit into our favor if some of those shots go down. But again, it just seems like after a certain point, whether that's like midway through the third quarter or like right after halftime, it like something just like the Wolves punch us in the face. For all you boxing fans out there, they pop us in the face and we just can't recover. It doesn't make any sense. So let me keep reading some of my notes here. I already mentioned how the Suns couldn't counter the Wolves' foul trouble. The Suns were down, I believe at halftime, 14-5 in second chance points. They only attempted 2 threes in the second quarter. Trust me, I'm going to talk about the three-pointers in a little bit. A lot of this series and a lot of the Phoenix Suns season in general has been focused on the Suns' terrible turnovers. A lot of the Suns' turnovers tonight, and I don't even know how much they had. I don't think it really matters. a lot of the Suns' turnovers were just passing the ball through like clogged up lanes, or maybe the pass was just a little too fast. And, shout out to Gerald Bourget from PHNX. Before the playoffs even started, he wrote this incredible piece. I shared it on my Twitter, I shared it on my Instagram. Incredible piece about it wasn't just about the Suns turnovers, but like why they're turning the ball over and the stats behind it. And he just tried to he just tried his best to look into it, and it still seems unexplainable about the Suns turnovers. And look, I will always admit it when I'm wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of things this season. You guys can clip this, you can do whatever. I was wrong about so many things this season. And one of those things I was wrong about, and I know my conversation's going all over the place, but one of the things I was wrong about was the Phoenix Suns not needing a point guard. And look, it doesn't even have to be like an all-star point guard. It doesn't even have to be like a Chris Paul. And I love Chris Paul. It doesn't even have to be him. But the Suns just need somebody, as I like to call it, or to just orchestrate. For all you big-time football fans out there, we just need like a decent quarterback. And again, I will take that L. I was wrong about the Phoenix Suns not needing a point guard. Richard Jefferson, sometimes I love him as a broadcaster. Sometimes I don't like him as a broadcaster, but he was right about a couple of things tonight. And one of those things that he was right about was that you can go back and look at game 1 or game 2, but especially in this game, every time the ball would like clank off the rim or it was a missed shot, it just seemed like the Wolves were just so much more active and together trying to grab a loose ball, trying to grab a rebound. Like I said earlier, the little things that the Suns don't do. They were just so active and together. Let's see what other notes I have before we dive into the numbers. Oh my goodness. The amount of times that the Wolves would go on like a quick little run to balloon their already 15-point lead. They went on a 12-2 run, which was a 15-point lead. The Suns score, and then Rudy Gobert gets an and one dunk. No communication on defense. There were so many times, especially like late in the third quarter and early in the fourth quarter, where the Wolves just had back-to-back threes, and it looked like a practice drill. Just the Wolves would take the ball up the court, run the pick and roll. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, for example, goes into the corner, dish to him, wide open bucket. Next possession down, pretty much the same thing. And that just ballooned the lead. And again, even though the Suns actually hit shots, even though they actually hit shots in the fourth quarter, it just didn't matter. It was too little too late. I'm not even going to read you guys the player stats. Maybe we'll do that later. I just want to read you guys the team stats. Vogel, and I talked about this in one of my live shows recently. Let me take a sip of my drink real quick. Delicious. Frank Vogel talked about this before the game. And this isn't my words. This is Frank Vogel's words. He wanted the Phoenix Suns to at least attempt 43s. That's not my words. That is Frank Vogel, the head coach of the Phoenix Suns' words. He wanted them to attempt at least 43s in this game. As Gerald pointed out on Twitter earlier, at halftime, or excuse me, in the second quarter, they only attempted 2 threes. The Suns in this game attempted 28, and they only hit 11. So your head coach, who, the way I look at it, like I have a job, I have a boss, so if my boss told me to do something, I would do my best to my ability to do it. So Frank Vogel, the head coach, said to attempt at least 43s. At least he wants them to do that. They attempted 28. And I talked about that before in my live shows, y'all. I said the Suns need to start chucking up more threes, but against this Minnesota Timberwolves defense, I don't think it matters. Again, you guys, the way that the Timberwolves were just together, connected, active on defense, the way they just showed effort has took all the Suns' offense away. It took all the Suns' urgency, energy, consistency. The Suns have like never really gotten into a rhythm this series. Maybe like every once in a long while they've like shown flashes of like offensive consistency, but every time they do, it just doesn't seem like it matters. So the Suns went 11 for 28 from three, which is good enough for 39%. And in all fairness, the Wolves were 13 for 34 from three, but for this Wolves team, it's like that's like a bonus to them. So, another thing the Suns couldn't capitalize on tonight was getting to the free throw line. Even though, their free throw percentage was awesome, 28 for 32, 87.5%. They went to the line 14, I believe, out of 15 times in the first half, which was like a record or something, but they couldn't even capitalize on that. And again, it just goes to show that with this Phoenix Suns team, and heck, I don't even know who's going to be on our team next year, but maybe even next year's team. It all depends on how this team starts and if they can hit enough shots. I used to think that the Phoenix Suns needed to be like elite on defense to not only win this series but to go far in the playoffs, and I was wrong on that. It's like this team just needs to straight up outscore the other team. Even if the other team goes up like 150, scores 150 on us, as long as we can score 151, it's like, but we can't even do that because the Timberwolves defense is just so excellent. And again, that's just such an understatement. They showed this one clip late in the fourth quarter, and I showed my brother this because he was down there watching the game. And it was like, first off, Nickeil Alexander-Walker was picking up from 94 feet. Suns get the ball across the half-court line, and then just like Naz Reid, for example, is like swarming Devin Booker, and then Booker passes it out, and then he runs to the corner, and then Bradley Beal's trying to find somebody. He gives out to Royce O'Neal. He finds Booker in the corner. He takes a crazy shot with the shot clock winding down. Miss. It's like just the little things, Good God, man. The Wolves obviously killed us in the rebounding battle, 50-28. 10 more offensive rebounds than the Suns. That was another killer. Even if it wasn't just second chance points, it was just like those offensive rebounds. And the amount of times the Suns had bodies near the paint to grab a rebound, it was either like they just collided into each other and couldn't grab the board, or again, there was just too many Timberwolves down there. It's crazy, y'all, because you guys know that I have been the biggest critic of the Suns' turnovers this season. Guess what, you guys? Just like in game 2, this goes all the way back to game 2. The Suns only had 10 turnovers. 10. That's amazing for a game. But guess what, you guys? Just like in game 2, the Wolves had 14 points, but they had 21 points off our 10 turnovers. Last game they had like, I forget the number, but it was great. I don't know. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. I do just kind of want to look at some stats real quick, even though I said I wasn't going to talk about the stats. I'm still going to try to talk about the stats here. Look, y'all, I know that there's a lot of people, a lot of Suns fans that are going to be like, the Kevin Durant trade was a massive failure. We should have never traded for Kevin Durant. And look, a part of me understands it. I'm listening to you, even though it doesn't seem like I'm listening to you. But look, y'all, I will say this. this loss and this series is not on Kevin Durant. I will say that again, and I will say it all off season long. This loss and this series is not on Kevin Durant. Do not blame Kevin Durant for this series. If you do, you're stubborn. And if you do, you're just a KD hater. I'm sorry, but it's true. Kevin Durant has arguably been our best player and arguably, like the best in this series. And, it's crazy. I'm looking at the numbers, even though I said I wasn't going to look at the numbers. Bradley Beal had 28 points, 4 assists, and 6 made threes. And because of the way the game went, because of the Wolves' defense, because we were down 20 most of the game, I completely just right over my head. I didn't even notice because it just didn't seem like it mattered. Why? Because the Suns could never get into rhythm. They could never hit shots consistently. It just didn't seem like it mattered. And Bradley Beal had 28 points with 6 made threes. First off, we're almost at the 30-minute mark. Obviously, I'm in a different location, different mic quality, different camera quality, and we have over 200, about 250 people in here. So for every 200 and almost 50 people who are watching, you are all awesome. You're amazing, and I love all of you. Thank you for watching. Seriously, like the quality is not great, and you guys are still watching. You're sitting and watching me sit here and rant about the Suns and drink a beer. You guys are real ones. Do I even bother to talk about Devin Booker, y'all? And I don't think I've ever said that on this channel. I mean, maybe sometimes I have, like during his bad games, but like Devin Booker, look, I literally did a live show yesterday defending Devin Booker, and I will always defend Devin Booker. I always will. It's not that he had like a horrific game, but he just wasn't good enough in this game. And that's saying something. Because statistically, he was fine. 23 points, 8 for 15 shooting, 8 assists, 2 steals. However, 2 turnovers, 3 fouls. So you're like, Suns geek, don't pick on Devin Booker. He was fine in this game. Yeah, he was okay, I guess, but it just isn't the Devin Booker that we all know and love. And I thought to start the game, I'm just specifically talking about how Devin Booker started the game. I didn't think Devin Booker started the game very well. First off, to start the game, Devin Booker. Now, look, in all fairness to Devin Booker here, I understand it was a 4-on-5. I think like Nurkic or KD was on the other end of the floor because they fell down. But like Booker was a 2-on-1 against Karl Anthony Towns and Mike Conley. Towns passes it to Conley. Conley passes it back. Booker switches on to Conley. I'm like, Booker, stay on Karl Anthony Towns. Let Conley take that shot. He left Karl Anthony Towns wide open. Bam, bucket. That was to start the game. And not only that, I can forgive him for that because, again, it was a 4-on-5, whatever. I can forgive him for that. But I just think he was trying to play a little too much, as some of you guys like to put it in the comments, hero ball. I kind of noticed that a little bit tonight. Just a little bit too much bad shot. There was even one shot that he just took where he just ran up, was well contested, threw it up, missed. It clinked off the rim. He's running back down court and he points up like, my bad. That was my fault. I saw a lot of those kind of shots tonight. Maybe up until like the second half, he did kind of get going a little bit in the second half, but again, it didn't matter. It didn't matter if Bradley Beal made like 3 or 4 straight shots. Didn't matter if Devin Booker made back-to-back buckets. It just, it just didn't matter. Like the Wolves, how many times with the history of my channel, how many times have I said the opposing team punched us in the mouth early and didn't look back? And you're probably like, Suns Geek, it was only like a 7-point game at halftime. Well, guess what? The Wolves punched us in the face in games 1 and 2, and they have not looked back. They have not looked back. And it's funny because I'm over 30 minutes and I haven't even talked about really the Wolves besides their defense and how connected they are and how much chemistry they have and how they do the little things that win you ball games. I do want to give credit though. And shout out to AZ Sports Zone who tweeted this out. But even before the series, I had similar thoughts to AZ Sports Zone. And I have, for anybody who cares, I have proof in my DMs because I was talking to my guy, Let's Talk Wolves. We're DMing each other. All season long, Nickeil Alexander-Walker has played great against us. And I remember saying to my friend, Let's Talk Wolves, I was like, hey, man, I really like Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He seems to play good against us. I've made videos and live shows where I've talked about Nickeil Alexander-Walker, when he plays against us. That dude just seems to come to play whenever he plays the Suns, man. He had 16 points tonight, 5 assists, and he was 4 for 10 from field. I think all of his shots were 3-point attempts, but it's not just that. First off, he's had an incredible season for the Wolves. I don't know his contract, but it seems like he's probably going to stay with the Wolves for a while because they'd be stupid to give him up. It's not just his scoring and the way that he seems to play well against the Suns. It's his activity on the defensive end and his hustle and effort. And I think he was inspired by not only Jaden McDaniels, who has locked up Devin Booker in the series. We're going to talk about him in a minute. But Cassidy Hubbard, I hope I pronounced her name right. I'm doing another crappy beer pour while I'm talking to you guys right now. But Cassidy Hubbard on ESPN was on the broadcast talking. She's like the sideline reporter. And she said that Rudy Gobert had a talk, like a speech with his team before the season started and was pretty much preaching defense and saying, like, what kind of team do we want to be on defense? And according to Cassidy Hubbard, the ESPN sideline reporter, and according to Rudy Gobert, the Wolves bought into that. And that's me pointing out the obvious, because even if it is just statistically, the Wolves are the best defensive team statistically in the league. And look, I haven't watched every playoff game. I've watched a decent amount, but I haven't watched every playoff game. But I would like to say they're probably the best defensive team, at least in the playoffs so far. Like that's been the topic of conversation throughout the playoffs. That's been the topic of conversation throughout this live show, is that the Wolves are incredible on defense. But there's just so much more to it. I wish there wasn't so many like copyright restrictions on YouTube to where I could just pull up the highlights and we could just react, but I'd get a copyright claim and all that. But just do it for yourselves. Just, keep listening to this live show or come back later. Just go watch the highlights, and don't even watch the Suns. Just watch the Wolves. Watch how they're just so connected on defense. And moving their arms around and contesting shots and communicating with each other. And Jaden McDaniels. I don't care how many points that dude scores, he's actually put up a decent amount of points this series. He only had 5 points tonight. But that dude, I'm going to say it, and I don't think this is a hot take or anything, but I'm just going to say it. He has gotten into Devin Booker's head. He's gotten into Devin Booker's head. And if it wasn't already proven that he's gotten into Booker's head in games 1 and 2, there was a specific moment in this game, I want to say late in the game, where him and Booker were kind of getting chippy. Things were getting chippy. And, like, again, I don't know if Jaden McDaniels said something to him. I don't know. But, like, Jaden McDaniels got into Devin Booker's head. And now we all know why. We all know why Anthony Edwards said that quote where he was like, we have Jaden McDaniels or whatever that quote was. But you guys get the point. We all get it now. That's why I give a lot of credit to Nickeil Alexander-Walker as well. I think he was inspired by Jaden McDaniels. I think he was inspired by Rudy Gobert and just the Wolves' defensive philosophy. Is that what you want to call it? Or the Wolves' defensive mindset? Whatever word you want to use. I haven't even talked about Anthony Edwards, who had 36 points tonight. Only missed 10 shots. But guess what? He had 9 rebounds and 5 assists, and he went to the free throw line 11 times and made all of them. Mike Conley's been pretty damn good in this series, especially offensively. Even if it is just 15 points and 7 assists like he had tonight, that helps. Karl Anthony Towns, 18 points, 13 rebounds, 7 for 16 shooting. Karl Anthony Towns was just left open so many times tonight. And if he wasn't left open, he was like rolling off of a screen or creating space for himself. Bucket. And look, you guys, if you're a first-time viewer of this channel, first off, again, for the third time in this live show, I apologize for the crappy quality, apologize for the crappy mic quality, whatever. If you're a first-time viewer of this channel, I'm not afraid to like say these things about the Phoenix Suns because I feel like I've earned that right as a creator or like a Suns podcaster or whatever you want to call me. I feel like I've earned that right. And to an extent, even if you're like a newer-ish Suns fan or a longtime Suns fan, I feel like you have earned the right to say what you want to say about the Suns because you're probably right. Like, again, saying that this season is a massive failure is a complete understatement. I wish there was the right kind of words to just sum up how miserable the season's been. You guys want to go to Twitter for a little bit? You want to go see what's going on Twitter? Ooh, and I want to read you guys a tweet too. A couple tweets actually before we see like what the media says and all that. God. I want to share a tweet and I'll probably share a couple tweets from one of my favorite follows on Twitter. Suns are better. And let me put my mic down for a minute and zoom in here so you guys can see. Let me see how this looks. Let's see. One-man show here, you guys. You already know the drill. We got 300 people in here, by the way, so please do me a favor. Crush that like button, y'all. But look at this tweet right here, you guys. I love this tweet from Suns Are Better. The most consistent success we've seen from the Suns this season has been when they go small. Feels clear problems on this roster stem from the 5 and their lack of playable size. That's the number one issue to address this offseason. Now, I agree with that to an extent. But like he's not wrong. Like, and look, I'm not saying a small ball roster will win you a championship, but like he's right, at least in terms of this season, that when the Suns have gone small, it seems like we're either winning the ball game or we make some miraculous comeback like we did against the Kings during the regular season, or we just start hitting shots consistently. And this is why I understand. This is why I understand why fans are so critical about Frank Vogel, which I will take the L on that. I will take another L on Frank Vogel. Like, I get why you guys want an offensive coach now. Like, heck, if I was coaching this team, I would say, y'all, forget defense. Let's run and gun up and down the court. Let's launch 53s. Screw it. Not even just the threes. Let's just get that freaking ball, up in the air, man. Thank you guys for the love. I appreciate it. We got over 300 people in here, y'all. So please crush that like button, you guys. Seriously, crush the like button, share the show, because that at least tells YouTube that I'm doing a good job. Like, I've gone live for 40 minutes. I'm sitting here drinking a beer because it's just, I feel like I owe that to you guys because you guys are such an incredible fan base and I love you guys. Some dude flipping out at the game going viral right now. I got to see that. We might just seriously just have to do like a Twitter session for the rest of this live show, y'all. I have so many tweets that I tweeted throughout this game that just, like, Devin Booker's brother 18 minutes ago. I'll share this so you guys can see it, so you guys know I'm not making this shit up. Devin Booker's brother tweeted this out 18 minutes ago. Bamboozled. And yes, that is Devin Booker's brother. And I want to give a big shout out to Devin Booker's brother and Devin Booker himself. One of my favorite followers on Twitter, I believe his name is Keith, I believe. Suave Keys. I probably just butchered his name. Great follow on Twitter. Unfortunately, he lost his father. May he rest in peace. So sorry for his loss. But Devin Booker and his brother paid for the expenses for the funeral. So that's awesome. So shout out to them. And I'm so sorry for his loss. It's a terrible thing. Sorry to bring the mood down a little bit, but it's true. Anyways, let's keep checking Twitter, y'all, because there's like so many tweets I could read. Like, I love this tweet. I'm literally live retweeting as we go here. We failed you, Emma Stone, says Cage. Ridiculous Cage on Twitter is a great follow. We failed you, Emma Stone. Oh, and yes, this is true because the Suns Jam Session podcast posted it and other media members posted it. Faint Fire Vogel chants started in this game. Fire Vogel. I'll have to pull up that video. Screw it. We're just going to go to my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Like, if you're on Twitter right now, search Suns Geek and you'll find me. And I'm just legit scrolling down, y'all. We're just going to react and read so many tweets right now, you guys. I posted this too. Remember when Yusuf Nurkic was trolling Draymond Green? Well, I screen capped his back-to-back tweets. And that's all, folks. That's all, folks. Like, what if Yusuf Nurkic like legit tweeted that out right now? That'd be actually fucking hilarious if he did. Let's keep going. There's so many more tweets I want to react to. Yeah, so if you missed it, shout out to Saul Bookman from PHNX. I posted the video of I posted the video of Matt Ishbia too, but Matt Ishbia's face sums it up right there. He was in attendance tonight. He was in the first row where he normally sits. He's watching all of this. And you know what, you guys? Let me get optimistic here. Maybe it's the drinks talking. Maybe it's my beer that I've had talking here. But I want to get a little optimistic for a minute. And you guys can call me a Matt Ishbia stan. You can call me a Matt Ishbia fanboy. You can call me delusional. You can call me whatever you want. I don't care. I believe in Matt Ishbia. And I know I sound crazy for saying that. Suns Geek. He traded away Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson and blah, 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 blah. I get it. I understand. I know. Calm down. But you know what, you guys? I still believe in Matt Ishbia. I really do. Matt Ishbia, if you're ever watching, or any representatives of Matt Ishbia or any family members of Matt Ishbia, if you're still watching, I still believe in you. Please, Matt Ishbia, do something to fix this team next year. Hire the right people, make the right moves, get us some bench depth, get us some players who are connected and are willing to not let the locker room fall apart. Get us the right coaching staff, get us the right offensive system. I don't even care about defense next season. Just get us the right offensive system, please. I believe in you, Matt Ishbia. I really do. I know I sound delusional for saying that. I will be the most delusional Suns fan until we win the championship. And just as we started the show, y'all, is how we're going to, continue it here. Respectfully, I don't know how teams are going to guard us. Devin Booker. I'll drink to that, y'all. I've seen people say like that was like when Ja Morant said we're fine in the West. And then all that stuff started happening to him. And then the Grizzlies got plagued by injuries. And like, I don't believe in curses to an extent, but I do believe that this quote cursed us. And I'm not saying like that's the reason we've had like a terrible season, but that quote was like the iceberg striking the Titanic. And it took like a couple hours or whatever for the ship to sink. Yeah. How are you guys doing tonight? You guys okay? Before we listen to these Frank Vogel chants from my guys over at the Suns Jam Session podcast, are you guys doing okay? Like, for real, I want to know. Are you guys okay? I'm trying to keep my eyes on the comments. And we have, how many people we got in here right now? We got over 300 people in here. So you guys are all amazing. You guys are all real Suns geeks, and I appreciate you. Seriously, crush that like button. Let's listen to these chants here, you guys. Shout out to my guys over at the Suns Jam Session podcast. Go subscribe to them. Go follow them. Let's listen to this. This is the Fire Frank Vogel chants. Fire Vogel. That sucks, y'all. Like, real talk. Like, let's humble ourselves for a minute, Suns fans. What if we were at our jobs? Because, yes, I have a normal job too. What if we were at our jobs and like our customers or whatever were like, fire that employee? Like, that would suck, y'all. Like, for real. Let's humble ourselves for a minute, you guys. I know that we can all be like Twitter trolls and, keyboard warriors, but that would suck. Like, for real. And I do feel bad. A part of me honestly feels really bad for Frank Vogel. I really do. And I know I sound crazy for saying that. Like, I know Frank Vogel and his system offensively and defensively has failed this team. I know that Frank Vogel has failed this team on so many different levels, but I honestly feel kind of bad because like I liked Frank Vogel before we hired him. I didn't mind him as a coach. He had a decent resume coming into our team, and like he had won even if it is a Disney bubble ring or whatever the kids call it, an asterisk bubble ring, Mickey Mouse ring. I don't care. He still won a championship, y'all. Like, I feel bad for Frank Vogel, man. I was so excited. You guys can go watch it on my channel right now. I have it. When we hired Frank Vogel, I went live to react to his press conference. And I was so excited with some of the stuff he was saying. And then on a personal level, he just seems like a really nice guy. I've never met Frank Vogel. I probably will never meet Frank Vogel, but he just seems like a nice guy, okay? Seems like a guy that I would like to have a beer with. I don't even know if he drinks, but I would like to have a beer with Frank Vogel. And he's probably going to get fired. I do not wish for anybody to lose their job. I do not wish for anybody to lose their job unless they honestly, truly deserve it. Like they do something to deserve being fired. But like, Frank, that's just how sports work. Like, I don't follow football much, but I know that coaches always go first in football. Coaches always go first in basketball. Let's be real. It's just how it is. Oh, God, you guys, we got the real Anthony Edwards in here who says, I'm sorry for talking or taking y'all from behind the woodshed. Oh, my God. I can't believe I just read that. Screw it. The Suns are about to get eliminated. Let's read. Did you guys see what Anthony Edwards did? That little, like, move that he did. I would do that, but I'd probably get, like, flagged on YouTube. Or copyright claimed or whatever. Oh God, what are we even doing here, you guys? Like, what are we doing, dude? Why have I been live for over 40 minutes? Like, for real? Oh yeah, you guys, you want to see a live look at Suns fans during the game? Now, I do have to mute this part of the audio. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted for this, but this was Suns fans during the game today. Well, at least some Suns fans. Look at this. Just sitting there in defeat, putting their heads down. Oh boy. Yep, it's been that kind of a season, y'all. Let's keep scrolling through Twitter. Suns are better quote tweeted me and says he looks like he's contemplating suiting up at this point. That was my Matt Ishbia video that I posted. Somebody quote tweeted me and said he's making serious changes after this series is wrapped up. He's learned a ton. I think he meant to say he's learned a lot, but needed lesson. And that's my optimism, y'all. That's my delusional optimism. Is that Matt Ishbia, who is making the final calls, at least that's what's been reported. He's making like the final say, the stamp of approval. That's my optimistic delusion, is that Matt Ishbia is literally sitting in the front row, is literally witnessing all of this, and is like, you know what? This didn't work. This was a huge failure. By the way, I got quote tweeted by Clutch Points tonight. That was pretty awesome. But Matt Ishbia sitting there and is like, yeah, this ain't working. I'm going to make the right moves this offseason. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of my water, y'all. Yes, I am drinking water tonight. Doesn't seem like it, but I am. That's my optimistic delusion. I'm going to say that like a million times during the offseason. My optimistic delusion is that Matt Ishbia will make the right moves. And here's some more Suns fans in pure disappointment. I feel bad for the younger Suns fans. And I'm talking about like the actual young Suns fans, not like these like teenagers and stuff. I'm talking about like the actual young Suns fans. I really do feel bad for them. I don't know, y'all. What are we doing, you guys? Like for real, what are we doing? I don't know, man. There's so many other tweets I want to get to, but it's just, I don't know. There is one tweet that I meant to have ready to go. Two tweets before we get out of here, y'all. And you guys are literally seeing my Twitter timeline here. So please follow me on Twitter, like right now, whatever you're doing. Okay, first off, we got to react to this video. I love it. Frank Vogel PHX posted this. He said, "I'm still fighting, never giving up." I love it. I love it so much. So yeah, Frank Vogel PHX. That's been one of the brighter spots of this season, has been Frank Vogel PHX on Twitter, posting hilarious content like this. I could watch that like all day, dude. That is so good. I love that so much, y'all. But anyways, there's like a million other tweets, but there's two specific tweets I want to get to. Where is it? Oh God, I just resetted myself. Hold on. Give me a second here, you guys. Hold on. Let's close that out. I got to scroll like all the way down. Okay, here we go. Let's see. You guys already know the drill. One man show. If you are drinking tonight, drink for every time I've said one man show and you'll be wasted. Okay, here we go. Now that we're caught up. This tweet right here kind of depresses me as just a straight up basketball fanboy. And if you guys know me, whether it's on a personal level or you know me as just a content creator, you guys know that I love NBA history. That's an understatement. This tweet kind of makes me sad, but it's true. Sadly, it's true. Look at this tweet from one of my favorite follows on Twitter. RYB_311. Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant were all fully healthy this season for the most part. They're going to win a combined 0 playoff games. End of an era for good this time. That is a brutal tweet, but it is so true. Steph Curry is probably on vacation right now. The Lakers are in the same boat we're in. They're down 0-3. And those are 3 of the greatest players in basketball history. And don't just take my word for it. Again, there's a fly flying by me, but yeah, I don't want to get anyways. 3 of the greatest players ever in the year 2024 have 0 playoff wins, at least at the time of this recording. And guess what, you guys? The Nuggets and Lakers play today or tonight, tomorrow, whatever you want. It's past midnight here, so I'm looking at it like it's But that's not the only tweet. There's like a million other tweets I wanted to read to you guys. So I quote tweeted the video that we watched at the start of this, and I said, to Devin Booker's quote when he said, "I'm saying it respectfully. I don't know how other teams are going to guard us." I said, the Minnesota Timberwolves said, "Hold my beer," to Devin Booker's quote. And they straight up figured out a way to guard us. But I want to get to 2 more tweets here, you guys. Let me just, again, close this out for a second. Again, I retweeted so much stuff tonight, you guys. It's not even funny. But I love and I hate this next tweet right here. I love and I hate it. This next tweet is so sad, but it's so true. Look at this tweet, you guys, from my guy, John, over at the Suns Jam Session podcast. I'm calling it the Suns season dead on arrival. I hope I pronounced that right. DOA, 9:29 p.m., April 26, 2024. It's been a ride. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. That is a sad tweet, y'all. I retweeted that. I shared it on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, by the way. The Phoenix Suns. I'm calling it. The Suns season is DOA, 9:29 p.m., April 26, 2024. It's been a ride. My guy, John, tweeted that. Speaking of tweeting things, Bradley Beal tweeted, and I'll pull it up in a minute, but I'll read it to you guys first. Or he didn't tweet. Bradley Beal said, and I quote, "I've never been swept a day in my life, so I'll be damned if that happens." And guess who retweeted it? Bull, of all people, retweeted it. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat from Empire Day 1, Roy, who says, "It's over. Vogel and Jones are out. It's too much." Guys, if there's been anybody who's been a James Jones fanboy, it's kind of been me, but the last year and a half-ish, I have not been a James Jones fanboy for the most part. I just haven't. So I quote tweeted John's tweet with that infamous graphic that the Suns put out after they got like embarrassed to either the Mavericks or the Nuggets when they were like, "Today is a new day for the Phoenix Suns fans as we work on our next season is underway. Blah 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 blah." Let's get to that Bradley Beal thing real quick, and then we'll probably wrap up the show because I've been live for nearly an hour, and I've just been sitting here drinking a beer, ranting, venting. You guys know the drill. But let's get to this Bradley Beal thing real quick. I hope this quote doesn't live infamously in Suns history. And maybe there's a video. Let's see. Oh, God. We got so much to react to tonight, y'all. It's not even funny. We're just going to keep going here for now. First off, I hope I don't get
Anthony
copyrighted.
exclamation point.
But here's that infamous Anthony Edwards clip. Oh, my God. When he was just kicking our ass. Look at that. Like, oh, my God, dude.
Rudy Gobert.
Jeez Louise, man. Does that not sum up the Suns playoff series right there? Just what Anthony Edwards is doing to us. Good God. Shout out to Timberwolves Clips who uploaded that. So hold on. Give me a second here, you guys. Again, I need a producer. I need somebody to like help me like pull up these tweets like right away so I can react to them. But anyways, hold on. Let's see. Let's go back real quick. Bear with me, guys. One man show here. If you're drinking, take a shot for every time I said that. Okay, no. Okay, let's see. Let's go to this then. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, guys, you're not going to believe it. I'm so glad Devin Booker said this. I'm so glad Devin Booker said this, and he said it almost an hour ago. Thank you, Devin Booker. First off, thank you, Devin Booker, for not being a cocky you-know-what and saying, we're just chilling right now. We're good. We're in a good spot. Thank you for not saying that, Devin Booker. I'm glad Devin Booker said, and I quote, rightfully so, Devin Booker on fans booing. And the tweet is pulled up right here. Devin Booker said, and I quote, rightfully so, end quote, on the fans booing. They should boo. And look, I could have a whole podcast or live show on Suns fandom, and maybe one day I will. Maybe one day I'll put on my Suns fan gatekeeper hat and I'll talk about Suns fandom, but I don't care if you were a Suns fan yesterday or you've been a Suns fan since 1968 when the franchise was, created and began. Every fan should have booed tonight. And a lot of fans should have booed throughout the season. So I'm glad Devin Booker said that. But let's listen to Bradley Beal's quote where he said, I've never been swept a day in my life. I'd be damned if that happens. I don't know why Bradley Beal said that, but I think this is the quote here. I don't know. We're gonna react to this in live time, so let's do it. Here's Bradley Beal. Shout out to Dwayne Rankin from the Arizona Republic for this footage. Here we go.
Start the third cat. I'm looking at Cat's 3 open ass threes. We just shoot ourselves in the foot.
Okay. The rotations on the threes. Alexander Walker got multiple corner threes. Is it going into the game? I mean, how much was that discussed? Okay, can't give up open threes. And then I'm just curious on that front.
It's a point of emphasis every night. I mean, coach comes in, puts them on the board. We have guys we call lasers, shoot the ball, really well. And the percentages are up there, the tendencies are up there. We should be better with that. Granted, a lot of stuff is about extra efforts, and Ant-Man is going to take a lot of our attention. So sometimes we double them, sometimes we just show them a lot of bodies. Maybe overhelp sometimes, but they're telling their guys to shoot it on their first pass, and you can almost see it like every single time Ant fires it out, somebody's either catching and driving it or catching and shooting it. You don't really see it like the boomerang too much or the ball popping. Like they let it fly and they shoot with confidence. And the kills on the backside, a lot of those tonight, held throughout the whole series.
Yeah, obviously, no team's ever come back with a 0-3 deficit to win a playoff series. What's the approach when you?
Here we go, you guys. Here we go.
Just one game at a time. Obviously, it's tough to beat a team that many times. Hell, they just did it. We did it during the regular season. So, you just take it a game at a time. Obviously, we won just the first 4. Backs against the wall, but can't give in, can't give up. We got to continue to compete. We got to do one on Sunday. All I got to do is just give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance to go back to Minnesota. And just compete, man. Compete your ass off. That's all we can ask for.
Okay. I don't blame Bradley Beal for saying that. Cause like, let's be real. If I was a professional basketball player and I was on the microphone, I probably would have said something along those lines. But like he sounded so defeated when he said that, and that's nothing against Bradley Beal, but he sounded so like, oh yeah, we have to go out there and compete and take it one game at a time. But I don't want, as a fan, I don't want to hear one game at a time when we're down 0-3 in the playoffs. I do not want to hear that. Oh God. Yeah, exactly. Like Saul says it right here. Enough talk. I want to see action. Kevin Durant literally said that the other day, pretty much in his own words. He said, we can give these rah speeches and these inspirational speeches, and we can communicate all we want, and we can talk all we want. But at the end of the day, we have to go out and execute. Exactly. I don't want to hear talk. I don't want to hear any of that. Go out and execute. Go out and make NBA history and be the first team ever to be down 0-3 and win a series. That's all I want to see. So again, I don't blame Bradley Beal for saying that, but again, like, God, he just sounded so defeated. Just like what Anthony Edwards did right there to us, just straight up. Oh God, guys, it's where I live, because spoiler alert, shocking surprise, I do not live in Phoenix, believe it or not. It is almost 2:00 where I live. So I'm probably going to wrap up the show soon, but I do want to get to a couple other last minute things, because again, it's almost 2:00 here and I'm running on fumes, but maybe we can react to what Booker and okay, maybe we'll get to a couple more actually, because I'm looking at what Beal and all them said. Screw it. Nah. Okay, I haven't listened to the full quote, but Bradley Beal said, and I quote, third quarter kicking our ass. Bradley Beal, as the Suns were outscored 36-20 in the third quarter. Friday's game 3 loss. I guess we can listen to what Devin Booker said. It's less than a 2-minute clip, so we'll listen to what Devin Booker said. And then we'll listen to what Frank Vogel said, and then we'll probably wrap it up and end the show. So here is, pull this up. Give me a second here, you guys. So again, we're going to listen to what Devin Booker said. We're going to listen to what Frank Vogel said, and then we'll probably wrap up the show. Here's what Devin Booker said to Dwayne Rankin. Nah, I think we just got beat. Devin Booker, when asked if the Suns separated during the third quarter of game 3 loss, here is the full quote, well, at least under 2 minutes of the full quote from Devin Booker. Here we go.
Where was that at tonight? Did you feel that as well tonight or no?
No, I think we just got beat. I mean, that was the point of emphasis for us going into the game. Stick together through adversity. So, the communication was there. We just didn't execute.
Just looking at defensively with Nickeil, him getting open corner threes, what do you think Alexander Walker, him getting open corner threes, what do you think led to that tonight? Is that 4 rotations? Is that
4 rotations.
When you look at the execution, what do you feel got away from you guys in that third quarter?
I have to watch it back. I just want to focus on the defensive side of the ball. They put up 126 points, and we've been keeping them around the 100 mark and trying to work on our offense. So tonight was more defensively than everything.
Obviously, your scoring totals have been lower than we're used to seeing from you. I know for you, making the right play is always the way to go, but what have they done to take you out of it scoring-wise?
They pressure everywhere and, funnel you into Gobert.
Devin, the season was obviously one where I know it's not over, but it was championship expectations going in. How do you wrap your head around it that you're one loss away from not even getting back out of the first round?
I'm the type of just, focus on the next game.
Going
Why do they keep saying that? I understand why they're saying that, but why? Just focus on the next game.
How do you wrap your head around it that you're one loss away from not even getting out of
Focus on the next
Game
game.
type of just, focus on the next game.
Come on.
So play by play, possession by possession. I said nobody's ever done it before, as you said.
That sounds like a team that is defeated. That sounds like, okay, we're gonna go into battle and we know we're gonna lose. That's what that sounds like. I mean, I couldn't have given a, excuse me, I'm burping over here. I couldn't have given a better answer, but come on, man. That just sounds so defeated, bro. I mean, I can't blame Devin Booker too much, actually. That was just an energy burst I had right there, but I would have been like, no comment. Next question. I don't know, man. Like I would have just I don't know. Again, this whole Suns series has just left me speechless. Sorry, Devin Booker. I was a little too harsh on you there, but I don't know, man.
JL, for you guys coming off the bench.
Yeah, I like what he did. He came in and, I've been a teammate with his for some time now, so I know what he's capable of, and, we think he's good on hand. Somebody who's going to, pressure at all times and give his all on, both sides of the ball.
Again, shout out to Dwayne Rankin for those clips. Let's listen to one more Frank Vogel before we get out of here. And then again, it's almost 2:00 where I live, so I got to get out of here, y'all. But one more time, Frank Vogel, who says, and I quote, "I don't blame them." Frank Vogel on fans booing during Game 3 loss to the Timberwolves. Let's listen to Frank Vogel, y'all. Here we go.
Huddle up tomorrow and see what kind of adjustments we can make to win Game 4. I mean, you're playing for pride and you're playing for an opportunity, to keep fighting. And that's what this group wants. This group does not want the season come to an end. We know that the competition in the Western Conference is fierce. This is a hell of a team that we're playing. So we're playing for pride and we're playing for an opportunity to keep fighting.
Coach, when you hear the fans booing in the game, how do you and the team digest that?
That's sports. You get your butt kicked at home, the fans are going to boo. I don't blame them.
And then one of the things when you look at a game like this, are you surprised, upset, or angry that knew what was on the line and then just didn't have it to win this game?
Wow. Say the question again.
Well, I mean, just your feelings on it. I mean, because you knew that if you
We
lose,
want this really bad, so it's disappointing. It's frustrating. We're all very invested in this, and we're all pouring everything we have into trying to bring these fans, a team they can be proud of, and we feel like we can still do that, but we haven't played well enough in this series.
it's part of that frustration that the adjustments that are being made just aren't working.
Sure. I mean, that's it. It's all in the same bucket of being out late.
We have last one.
Coach O'Kelly, on the basketball is just the AZ. So when you're in the huddle in those third quarters and it's tough, how do you balance kind of not overdoing it with trying to get them going and just focusing on basketball in those huddles in kind of the dog days of the game?
Yeah, forward-looking mindset, win the next stretch of the game, the next 2 or 3 minutes. You know what I mean? And lock into what is the task at hand, what your coverages are, what actions we want to be in offensively. I say our players have to have a next play mindset, but as a coach, that's how you have to lead your group. How do we win this next stretch? So, evaluate the areas where we're getting hurt in the game. We're not making the extra pass, and we're getting killed on the boards. If a certain action they're running is hurting us, how do we clean that up? Evaluate.
Can we react to the last 10 seconds or so here? Last 15 seconds of what Frank Vogel says right here. Because I feel like that kind of wraps up this series. What Frank actually listen to what Frank Vogel says right here. Listen to this.
The areas where we're getting hurt in the game, we're not making the extra pass, and we're getting killed on.
We're not making the extra pass. So let me go back real quick.
We're getting killed on the boards.
We're getting killed on the boards. Not just that. Keep listening.
A certain action they're running is hurting us.
Certain actions they're running are hurting us.
How do we clean that up, make the adjustments in game? That's what this comments are about.
Like literally that last 15 or so seconds, like in a weird way, kind of sums up this playoff series. Let's listen to it again. I won't interrupt this time.
Evaluate the areas where we're getting hurt in the game. We're not making the extra pass, if we're getting killed on the boards. If a certain action they're running is hurting us, how do we clean that up, make the adjustments in game? That's what those comments are about. I say our players have to have a next play mindset, but as a coach, that's how you have to lead your group. How do we win this next stretch? So, evaluate the areas where we're getting hurt in the game. We're not making the extra pass, if we're getting killed on the boards. If a certain action they're running is hurting us, how do we clean that up, make the adjustments in game? That's what those comments are about.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of sums it up right there, y'all. I went live for a lot longer than I anticipated. That was probably the beer that did a lot of that live show. But I don't regret anything I said tonight. Like for real, you guys. Like I really don't. I'll admit it when I'll admit when I'm wrong, and I've been wrong a lot this season. The Suns are one win away, or excuse me, they're one loss away from being eliminated in the first round. And not just that. This will now be 3 playoff failures in a row. And that's not, like Matt Ishbia, Kevin Durant. Well, actually, I take that back. Matt Ishbia can't really. Okay, how do I say this? I guess at the end of the day, it'll be 3 playoff losses in a row. 2 of them ended in embarrassing fashion. And if we lose on Sunday, it will be a sweep, which some people can take as a embarrassing fashion. Even if we win, like I don't have much hope for game 5, because you really think the Timberwolves are going to lose on their home floor in game 5, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is the Suns are 1 loss away from going out in the playoffs again in pretty much embarrassing fashion and having a lot of questions and doubt and critics and and there's a lot of people to blame, and I don't know. I am one of the biggest Suns fans, if not the biggest Suns fan ever, and I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. That's how I'm going to put this Phoenix Suns season in quotations, is I don't know. Like I was live with the Suns Jam Session podcast the other day, and he was like John was talking about, like, oh, my friends or whoever, like people I talk to will like make fun of me, or they'll like say something like, oh, the Suns this, the Suns that. And John just agrees with them at this point. I think I'm going to take that mindset too. Like if people troll me on social media or in my comment section, I'm just going to agree with them. Like, yeah, you're right. The Suns suck. This was a failed experiment, because I am speechless as a Suns fan. I just don't know. I just don't know. I really just do not know anymore, you guys. And it's my job in a way. Like I actually get paid from YouTube to make these videos and podcasts. And sometimes I just don't know what to say. I really don't. And that's really heartbreaking as a true loyal fan of this team to say that. I mean, guys, like, if you're new to this channel, we have over 383 people in here. If you're new to this channel, I have been making Phoenix Suns videos and live shows and podcasts about this team since like 2013. I've been a fan for as long as I can remember, since when I was a kid. And I legit do not know what to say about this Phoenix Suns team. Thank you, Saul, for the amazing comment. Suns Geek, you are just speaking facts as a true fan. We all are. Like, again, your guess and your opinion is just as good as mine. Like, I don't know. I can't explain this. I can't explain this Phoenix Suns team to you. I can't explain this series to you because it's just been a miserable failure. I'm trying to read the comments, but I'm just like, I'm so like burnt out, y'all. Like, I just, it's over 2:00 where I live and I'm just exhausted, y'all. Chuckster says we need to use KD as trade. Oh God, here we go. Rebuild. Oh God, here we go. This Sunday starter should just be Yusuf Nurkic, Booker, KD, Beal. We can match the Timberwolves big men and not trying to get out rebounded. Says Suns for life. Suns fan for life. Let's see. Trade Nurkic and see if we can get a Breed wing. I can't read. Anyways, I don't know, y'all. I can read the comments, but I don't know. Well, I'm pretty burnt out, y'all. I've done back-to-back live shows, and I've done a lot of videos and live shows this week. I think I deserve a day off, okay? Unless there's like some crazy news tomorrow, then you know I'll have you guys covered. But I guess at the end of the day, to end this live show, I'm going to sound crazy. I'm going to sound delusional. I'm going to sound stupid. This is my hot take, and I never make hot takes. As the kids say, on God, I never make hot takes, okay? On God, as the kids say. This is my hot take, though. I still believe in Matt Ishbia. I still believe that the Phoenix Suns at least have 2 more years. 2 more years with this core. They still have 2 more years with the big 3. So that's what, 2026, 27-ish with this core. I truly do believe that. That doesn't matter who's coaching, doesn't matter who's our GM. 2 more years with Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. And if we're in the year 2026 or whatever, and we lose in the playoffs and we haven't won a championship by then I will be on this live show in 2 years from now. And I will go live and I will say the Phoenix Suns need to blow it up. Blow it up, Phoenix Suns. Even if that means trading Devin Booker in 2026 or 2027, whatever the year is. Or trade Kevin Durant, trade Bradley Beal, in 2026 anyways, when this 2-year window is up. If we don't win a championship by the time All-Star Weekend is back in Phoenix in 2027, before that, then blow it up. Blow it up, restart. I don't care how much money Matt Ishbia spends. Blow it up, restart in 2 years from now. I'm giving it a 2-year window. I know I'm crazy. I know that's a hot take. I know I never make hot takes. I never make predictions. I try to stay away from predictions. I try to stay away from hot takes. But that is my quote hot take. I'm going to be delusional. I'm going to be optimistically delusional, cautiously optimistic that we have 2 more years with this core. Maurice, I hope I said your name right. Bruh, 2 years we've been waiting all of our lives. I love that. I love that so much. Let's put it to the ether. Suns sweep the next 4. That would be amazing. Like that is not that comment, but this comment up here. That is real delusional, optimistic confidence, cautiously optimistic. Let's put it into the ether. Suns sweep the next 4. Could you imagine? Guys, it's not history for a reason. Like 0, and I think it's like 151 or 153. That's the record in the NBA for teams being down 0-3. So Yeah. Ishbia looked dejected when they showed him after the crazy defensive stand the Wolves put up in the third quarter. He's drunk too. If you're talking about me, I mean, I can't deny that, but I don't care. I'm still going to be optimistic, y'all. All right, let's see. Let's get to a couple more comments. The KD book Beal saga needs to be sliced now while they still each have value. Why wait till then if we need to improve our roster? Geek, you had one too many cold ones. I love that comment, y'all. That's so good. I love it. Do we get another super chat in here? Oh, no. That's just okay. That's just a great comment. Okay, guys. I'm out of here, y'all. It has just been too much. This has been too much, y'all. I've almost been live for an hour and a half, and I even made a little Instagram video saying I'm probably not going to be live for that long. But that's just how Suns Geek works. Every time I say I'm not going to be live for very long, it's probably going to be like an hour live show or longer. I think there's only been like one live show where like I cut it under 20 minutes. Yeah, so can I at least say my thank yous before you guys all get out of here? Can I just at least say thank you for a couple of minutes? Seriously, you guys, we went from having 130 people in here to having over 200. Then all of a sudden that jumped up to 300. And as of right now, we have over 400 people. So seriously, you guys, like I am just a normal person. I am far from famous. I will probably never be famous. I am just somebody who likes to talk about the Suns on YouTube. I have been doing this, whether you are new to this channel or a longtime viewer, I have been doing this for many, many years. And I have over 400 people in here. So please do me a favor. Smash that like button. Subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I get it. At least keep watching. Come back on Sunday and watch. That's all I can ask for. Like, yeah, I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers and I'm grateful, but please just, if you don't subscribe, please just watch. That's all that matters. YouTube just wants you guys to watch. But seriously, 400 people. And I've just been sitting here drinking a beer, ranting. You guys are awesome. You guys are all amazing people. All 400 of you right now, pat yourselves on the back. Do it right now because I love you guys. Like, if I could give you a hug, I would. All right, y'all. I'm done. I love you guys. Seriously, Hulk, smash that like button. Please subscribe, like, comment. Please keep watching, even during the off season. Please keep watching, you guys. I'm going to keep making videos no matter what. Videos, YouTube shorts, live shows, Suns therapy sessions. Please keep watching, you guys. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. And I thought I would never, ever see that number. So please subscribe. Keep watching. Come back on Sunday. You guys think I had too many cold ones tonight. Wait till Sunday after we lose or win. Even if we win, I'll probably have too many cold ones. So I love you guys. You're all amazing. And to answer Derek's question here before we get out of here. Hey, Suns Geek, did you get a pair of the Devin Booker shoes? No, I didn't. Because shoes are expensive and I'm irresponsible with my money. And they sell out fast. I'll just say that. They sell out very fast. So Suns for life. Suns fan for life. So Sunday big game for our fans. No, sorry, I can't read. Sunday big game for our Suns. Let's keep our faith up. Don't lose hope. We got this. And yeah, you guys are amazing. I love you guys. I'm out of here for real. God bless you guys. Stay safe. And I know I hate to preach to you guys before I get out of here, but please just be nice to people. Spread kindness. Just be nice to people, y'all. Love each other. God bless you guys. Stay safe. I will be here Sunday. I don't know if I'll be in this room on Sunday, but I'll be somewhere Sunday. Even if I'm outside on Sunday, I will go live and probably drink like 10 beers and get drunk and talk to you guys about the Suns. So I love you guys. God bless y'all. Stay safe. Peace out. Win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life. Win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life. I will always represent this team. I will always make videos about this team. Win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life. I love you guys. God bless. Peace out. And go Suns. I love you all.
What's up, Suns?